What's up, Jet fans? In today's video, we are going to go over the first day and a half, 2 days of free agency, but not even actually, it's just the legal tampering period. But basically, the big moves, they've probably been done by the Jets. So I want to go over them and talk about my thoughts. Darren Muji, he's making a lot of moves, lots of interesting moves. Last video, I kind of did my wish list of what I hope the Jets do in free agency. And well, they've made their moves, so let's talk about it. The biggest move was it not actually a free agent signing, but a trade. We traded for Minka Fitzpatrick, sending away a 2026 seventh round pick, and we signed him to a pretty big deal. I think it averages out to be like 13 million a year. I like this trade. I actually think this trade is really good from a pure winning standpoint. This trade is we basically gave up nothing. You know, a seventh round pick. Who even knew if that guy was going to make the roster? We gave up money, but like I said in my last video, we have a lot of cap space, and we got a former Pro Bowler, a veteran player. He's been around the league, and at a position that we really need help with. He's been playing safety. We really, really need safety help. He also, I think, could play cornerback, but I think he's going to stick to safety. And so I love this move. Basically, the return on investment is massive, right? A seventh round pick for someone with Pro Bowl potential. I'm not saying even if he's not a Pro Bowler, if he's just a starter, getting a starter for a seventh round pick is amazing value. So good job, Darren Muji. The next move we made, the first free agent signing, was signing Joseph Osai on a 3-year, $36 million deal. You're going to see a pattern of us reshaping our defense. We need defensive help. And before I get my thoughts on this one, I also want to mention we re-signed, we signed Demario Davis to a 2-year, $22 million contract. He is 37 years old now, but I think that this is a great signing. And this signing is kind of the one that focuses in on what Glenn is doing. In my wish list video, I said I wanted Aaron Glenn to get his guys. Whenever a new head coach becomes a new head coach, typically what they'll do in their very first offseason is they will sign a bunch of players that they've worked with before or who are familiar with them or their system. Aaron Glenn did not do that in his first offseason, and I think that really hurt him. And now he's finally doing that. Not only does this player have experience with the Jets, he actually has experience with Aaron Glenn. He was coached under Aaron Glenn when Aaron Glenn was in New Orleans. So this signing makes a lot of sense, and it's ticking a lot of my boxes for wish list stuff. 2-year, I said I'd like 1-year deals, but that is pretty unrealistic, I do have to admit. And so a 2-year deal, worst case scenario, Aaron Glenn's gone after this year, and we just have this player getting paid $11 million, which in the grand scheme of the NFL is not a whole lot. And this guy's a leader, right? His age can kind of tell you that, but I think if you talk to other players around the league, they'll say as much. And he kind of fills in our CJ Mosley element, where CJ Mosley, the value he brought to the field was not showcased on the field. It was the locker room stuff. And when he retired, we lost a leader. And this guy, he's a leader. He's an Aaron Glenn guy. And the contract is not gigantic. So another great move, I do have to say. And then just continuing, more defensive signings. We signed defensive tackle and a safety, both on 1-year deals. So this is literally what I asked for. 1-year deals. If they're Aaron Glenn's guys and they work out, fantastic. If they don't, well, Aaron Glenn's probably gone. So great. I'm never gonna complain about a 1-year deal, honestly, right? Especially where we are now. We're not competing for anything. We just need people on the field who can show some potential promise, and these guys are those guys. So I'm never gonna complain, and it's exactly what I wanted to happen. So perfect. We also signed an edge rusher from the Packers. Once again, another 1-year deal. We definitely need pass rushing help and edge help, and hopefully this guy can be it. And he's young, so he can show some promise. And if he's not, oh well, right? 1-year deal is not going to be the end of the world. And then concluding like the first day of free agency, we did lose a couple of players who we kind of assumed we were going to lose. But just want to say best of luck to all of them. John Simpson, Nick Folk, legendary Nick Folk, Quincy Williams, that one kind of hurts, and then Elijah Vera Tucker. They're all gone. They've all gone to other teams. We weren't able to re-sign any of them. It sucks, but also, right, we're rebuilding, we're reloading, so it all makes sense. I do have to say, I did forget to mention in my wish list video the offensive line. We just lost both of our guards, and it's particularly Elijah Vera Tucker going to the Patriots. That's never fun to see that, but oh well. It's and in my wish list video, I should have mentioned something about the offensive line. I don't think we need to upgrade the offensive line. We need to develop the offensive line. And if we can make lateral moves either through free agency or through the draft and replacing these guards, the least important position on the offensive line, then so be it. Elijah Vera Tucker, he's a great player, but he's super injury prone. So I think even getting someone a bit worse, but he's less injury prone, is not the stupidest decision in the world. But just wanted to shout out these 4 guys for playing for us and now leaving us. And then the big news, the breaking news, the thing that happened just a couple of minutes before I started making this video, and one of the reasons I waited to make this video, was the Jets have reacquired Geno Smith for a 6th round pick, but we're also getting back a 7th round pick. So basically we traded back, like, I don't know, you can do the math on that, but we just basically traded back and got Geno Smith. He's most likely going to be our starting quarterback this year. He's not amazing by any means, but I think he will be better than the quarterback play we had last year. He resurged in Seattle, went to Las Vegas, didn't do super hot in Las Vegas, but I think that team was, well, based off of the standings, they were the worst team in the NFL. So, of course, how much of that is on the quarterback, it's hard to say. I'm not saying Geno Smith is going to make us a competitive team, but he's someone who I think it will be exciting to see what he can do back for the Jets, because for a decade plus now, every quarterback we've gotten rid of have become good. That's an exaggeration, but not exactly. And, well, maybe the strategy, maybe the meta is to get rid of a quarterback and then bring them back, since they only become good once they leave us. So we'll see what happens here with Geno Smith. That was like the first day and a half, 2 days of free agency. Darren Muji overall, I think he's making a lot of moves, a lot of good moves. I think he's completing a lot of stuff on my wish list, and so I cannot be mad at any of these moves, really. There are a couple things I do want to mention. These moves have been basically all defensive, except for Geno Smith, obviously. And so I do think our offense is, not super good either. And so I am looking forward to seeing what offensive moves he can make. My wish list did state, give this man some help, give Garrett Wilson some help. Is there a pass catcher, a number 2 pass catcher we can have? The big names are off the board now. They've all gone and signed. All the big players get signed on the very first day. The big names are gone. Is there some sort of number 2 wide receiver, young, unknown number 2 wide receiver, or maybe a few unknown number 2 wide receivers that we can sign? There are some veteran tight ends, I believe, in free agency. So there are names out there, but I do think we need to sign a couple guys to help out Garrett Wilson. And then also the other man on the screen, Breece Hall. We have not given him a contract extension yet. We franchise tagged him, but did not give him a contract extension. And he's actually been tweeting like, oh, it looks like the Jets have a lot of money to throw around, or something like that. So I say, let's re-sign him, right? No running back wants to play on a 1-year deal. Breece Hall doesn't deserve that. give him a multi-year contract. We have the money. That's why I've been not mad at any of these moves. If one of these moves blow up in our face, oh well, right? We have the money to deal with it. So I think let's give Brees Hall a contract. He's been a real trooper for a very bad team, and he's not going to want to play on a franchise tag. But other than that, that's all I have for this video. I think these are the big moves. Most of the big moves, like I say, every year have already happened by now. So I don't think there will be another massive move for me to want to make a video like soonish. But you guys let me know, and I'll keep a lookout for any more big moves that the Jets make. The Geno Smith one is, I think, the biggest one I was waiting for. But like I said, let's just hope we can get a number 2 wide receiver / tight end, and let's hope we can re-sign Brees Hall. And then I'd say this would have been a pretty good free agency for a not very good team. So I can't complain too much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.